Swadhyaya Pravachana is really essence of spiritual practice. The Upanishad says, Swadhyaya Pravachanabhyam na pramaditavyam. Repeats it several times. Swadhyaya Pravachana means this. Swadhyaya means studying the scriptures thoughtfully, slowly, and followed by mananam, reflection. Not simply reading and then reflecting and thinking about the meaning, implications of what we read, mananam, and then pravachana. Pravachana means sharing with other people. The purpose of sharing what we study is twofold. Main benefit comes to the person who prepares and shares. So when we think we are telling other people, we are really gaining ourselves more than anybody else. So sharing deepens and clarifies our understanding. So that sharing is necessary. And by the other advantage of sharing is other people also may feel inspired to do something. When one person has put so much effort and time, hours and hours and hours of study, reflection, writing, altering, refining, that gives motivation to other people also. It's beneficial. So if any comments or questions are there on the 16th chapter, we will give a few more minutes and then we go to 17th chapter. Vairagya means detachment. Raga means attachment. Something I have, whatever it is, I become attached to it. Attachment means possessing, this is mine. This is mine, I want to have it. Attaching I to a particular object is raga, attachment. We can have this without the attachment also, in an objective way. Viraga means absence of attachment. Vairagyam means absence of attachment. You keep, but know in your mind, be convinced in your mind, you keep something. Something means anything, including the body. And all other possessions, job, property, money, family, children, house, car, whatever we have. We don't have to physically throw them away. We need those. Those are necessities for life. We keep all those things, but inwardly develop a conviction that these are there for a purpose for some time. They are not permanent. Neither are they permanent, my possessions, nor am I permanent. Both of us have limitations in time. So sooner or later separation will come. Separation will come from everything. Separation from body also will come. You have to be ready for that. So non-attachment. But keeping them, using them for in a purposeful way. Everything has a place, function in our life. These are things to be used. But knowing inwardly that these so-called possessions, calling something mine, is really not a tenable position to take, not permanent. Separation will come sooner or later. What will remain if everything is taken away from me? All my property, house, position, car, and job and fame and everything. And then the sense organs may also be taken away from me, one by one or all together. And the body can be taken away from me also. Then what will remain? Only the Atman, the self will remain. That is what is permanent. Atman or self, divine presence. Self means divine presence within us. Gita again and again, other scriptures say there is divine presence in all of us. That's one theme on which all Vedanta is built. Same divinity is present in all always unconditionally, regardless of our acceptance or belief or whatever. It is there. That's the only thing that is. Atman is the only thing that remains unchanged, eternal, perfect, complete. All other things, body, mind, possessions, will go away. Gradually, suddenly, you have to go. For that separation, we should develop detachment. If we become dependent on them, look upon them as sources of happiness, then we become attached. When we are attached, when they leave, lot of pain will come. So that is Vairagya means. Vairagyam, number 3, from possession. We can possess things. We need things for necessities. But inwardly we remain detached. This is there for a purpose, for a certain time. Then when that function is fulfilled, it will go and I will go. That is the inevitable separation. Be prepared for that. Anything detachment. The position that you have, you may be CEO, president of a company. Someday you will have to step down. You cannot be president forever. The company itself may be bought by somebody else and some other person will become the CEO. Or company may be intact and you may have to retire. Something will happen. As long as you are in that position, perform your duty nicely, with devotion, with joy, unselfish way, as service, as offering, as worship. Perform your duties. And it is done. That is Vairagya, detachment. Inward detachment is more important. Your mind. Vairagyam from possessions. Whatever I am doing, you may think you are getting benefit. I think I am getting more benefit than you are getting, because I have to put in some time and thinking into it. In that process, my understanding becomes clearer and stronger. My conviction becomes stronger. For a period of many years, even decades, this class started in 1986. Now it is 2016, 30 years. Some people have come, some have, same people are there today who were there in the beginning, some have gone, some have come back. But one thing is certain is, I have been helped maximum. Enormous benefit, joy has been granted to me because of this opportunity to share, and for that I cannot be grateful enough. So with the gratitude and the great joy and humility, let us proceed with the remaining 2 chapters are there. Then this phase of yajna will stop. Everything is in this world has a beginning and an end. Adi Anta. The interval between beginning and may be long or short, but there is a beginning, there is an end. Therefore, a wise person, person with wisdom, does not become attached to them, because once you become attached, when they leave, lot of pain will come. I knew a person, that person got a job, different job. And that person, on the first day when he began his job, new office and furniture, room, phone, everything, that person said to himself, this is my office from now onwards. This is all my job, my office, I am doing this. But someday, this job will not be there. I will have to retire, or some may have to leave the job, or they may let me go. or I may get some other job, it will go. So when the day comes, when I have to leave, I should live with a great sense of satisfaction and gratitude. Two things, satisfaction, gratitude. Satisfaction coming from doing our job well every day. Then you are satisfied that you have done your best. That feeling of satisfaction will be there. If you do every day our job, whatever it is, at home, in your workplace, office, clinic, university, hospital, wherever you are working, doing it to the best of ability, with love, that gives you satisfaction. And gratitude, because opportunity to do some work is itself a great gift, though we don't sometimes see it like that. The two things for which you have to be grateful. We have two things already given to us: opportunity to work and ability to work. Both of them are there, so we don't really appreciate. We take them for granted. If one of them is taken away from me, then we could become miserable. So God has given us both. For that we have to be grateful every day. With joy, with gratitude, with satisfaction. I have done my best. Now we go to the next phase, next task. Lust means desire for enjoyment. Greed means desire for possession. That way you can distinguish. Lust means the desire to enjoy and find more pleasure in everything. Greed means wanting to accumulate more and more and more, beyond need. A little bit difference like that. Lust, anger is greed. Now, anger is the third one. So these three, Sri Krishna says in 16:21, these three, lust, anger, greed, kama, krodha, lobha, these are three gateways to Naraka, suffering. Each one of them is enough. If you have all the three, God should save that person. If you, every day you see newspaper or TV or whatever, radio, so many crimes are reported. Different kinds of things people do, bad things, gets reported. If you analyze why that person did that bad thing, this one of these three or two or three of these, all the one, some combination these three will be there. Some combination of lust, anger, greed will be there as the starting point. So we have to control these things. What is that one? Tasmad etatrayam tyaje. Kamaha, krodhaha, tatha lobhaha. These three things. Trividham narakasyedam dwaram nashanam atmanaha. Verse 21 in chapter 16. Narakasya trividham dwaram. Three gateways to hell. Hell means the lead us to suffering. That is, you don't have to go to some other place to suffer for what we do here. The suffering can come right here. There's no need not be some other geographically separate hell. This can be heaven, this can be hell. Tasma, therefore, etatrayam, these three things, lust, anger, greed, tyajet, should be given up. Because they are dwaram nashanam atmanaha. They are destroy, self-destructive. Bring enormous, untold misery to our lives if we don't control them and manage them. So we'll begin 17th chapter. Now 17th, 18th chapter, they are all, most of it is somewhat easy and does not require much detailed explanation. Some of it has come before in other chapters, especially 18th chapter is restatement of some of the things that came earlier. So we'll go through these two chapters. Saptadashodhyayah Arjuna Uvacha. Ye Shastra Vidimutsrajya Yajante Shraddhayanvitaः Tesham Nishtha Tuka Krishna Sattvamaho Rajastamaha. Arjuna's question arises from the last verse of the previous chapter. Last verse, I think it was verse 24. In chapter 16, Sri Krishna had said, "May the scriptures be your guidelines in determining what is to be done and what is not to be done. According to the instructions given in the scriptures, do all actions. Tasmat Shastram Pramanam Te." Te Pramanam, your guideline, must be Shastram, scripture. Scripture means many scriptures are there. Which one? Something says something else, others say something else. So in this context, scripture means Shruti Upanishads. And then second level scriptures are the Puranas and Itihasas. Puranas are so many 18 major Puranas and so many minor Puranas are there. Vishnu Purana, Brahmanda Purana, Brahma Purana, Narada Purana, Agni Purana, like this 18. Bhagavata Purana is the most well known. Bhagavata is a Purana, one of the 18 Puranas, Mahapuranas. And then Itihasa. Itihasas are major two, Ramayana and Mahabharata. They contain also a lot of instructions in the form of stories, morals. So follow these scriptures. If there is a conflict between Smriti and Shruti, if Purana says something and Upanishad says something else, then Upanishad has the final authority. Shruti is the final authority. But Upanishads are very terse scriptures. They don't have a lot of detail, no explanation is there. They are revelations of the great sages based on their experiences and revelations. Sometimes they don't address a particular situation. Then you go to the Puranas and Mahabharata, Ramayana. There you may find something similar. That may give some guidance. But remember, Ramayana and Mahabharata, they are not totally non-fiction. They are partly fiction based upon historical events, but not non-fiction. It's a kavya. Kavya means a work of poetry, work of art. So sometimes there is embellishment, sometimes there is exaggeration, sometimes there is something else to make the story interesting. When reading Ramayana and Mahabharata, the story is only, you should remember, the story is only a vehicle to convey a message. There is always a message behind each story. What generally happens is people become so much engrossed with the story itself, forgetting the moral behind it, and keep on discussing the story. So the story is a story. It's there. Some of it is factual, some of it is not factual. We cannot discuss endlessly. But when we read a story, we should ask what is the idea behind, what's the message hidden behind the story. That is what we should hold on to. Read the story, enjoy it, and leave it, and go to the message. Hold on to the message. Otherwise, we'll be endlessly discussing. Every time a story of Mahabharata comes, every time it comes, I have been asked the same question. What did Dharmaraja say? Ashwathama, Ataha, Kunjara, like this one. You are such a truthful person. This happened, the story, it happened, it has a purpose. But it shows that even if you are 99.9% of the times truthful and dharmic, if 0.1% time if you make a mistake, that will have consequences. Dharmaraja had to go to hell for a short time for doing that one. So the story is always to be truth, that we should hold on. Endlessly discussing debating why this happened, why did she do like that, why did Rama kill Vali, all these things. There is no clear-cut answer. But behind it there is a message, you should look for the message. Shastram Pramana. So Upanishad and some Smriti books are there, Manusmriti, all those things. Many of them have gone out of ration because society has changed so much from the Manusmriti time. Society has become much more complex in life. So you can't literally take Manusmriti and put it in make it our law system. It won't work. To be taken with in some reservation. Those are the Shastras, Upanishad. Jnatva Shastra Vidhanoktam. Knowing the proper procedure explained in the scriptures, Karma Karta Miharhasi, you perform all your actions here. Sri Krishna said to Arjuna. So Sri Krishna said to Arjuna in the last verse of 16th chapter, follow the directions given in the scriptures to decide what work to do and what not to do. Karya akarya vyavastitau. And then perform all actions according to the instructions given in the scripture. That is where he left, 16th chapter. Now Arjuna has asked a question based upon that instruction in the 17th chapter. First question is, those people who have faith in the scriptures, ye sastra shraddhaya anvitaha, endowed with faith, scriptures, in the scriptures, shastra vidim utsrujya yajante, they perform actions, worship and other actions, by not conforming to the instructions of the scriptures. Tesham nishthatakam Krishna. What about their disposition, Shraddha? Is it Sattva? Is it Rajas? Is it Tamas? That Sattva, Rajas, Tamas had been explained in the 14th chapter before. 14th chapter, Krishna in great detail explained the three trends and tendencies we all have. Whole world has all these three qualities. Every individual human being, every object, every situation in life, workplace or family, it can be sattvic, rajasic, tamasic, combination of these things. Not only just concrete objects, but situations that arise in workplace or family situation or someplace else. They can also be sattvic situations, rajasic situations, tamasic situations. An office also, hospital can be the same thing, clinic can be the same thing. Depends upon the people, what they bring to the workplace. So, what kind of discipline is this? Are they being sattvic, rajasic or tamasic? That is Arjuna's question. The rest of the chapter is mostly answer to that question. Second shloka, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Trividha Bhavati Shraddha Dehinam Sa Svabhavaja Sattviki Rajasi Chaiva Tamasi Cheti Tam Shrunu. Everybody, all beings, emphasizing human beings, animals also have sattva, rajas, tamas. Objects in nature also have sattva, rajas, tamas. Food is also sattva, sattvic, rajasic, tamas, everything. But mainly you are concerned with human beings, nature of human beings. Dehinam Trividha Shraddha Bhavati, three kinds of Shraddha. Shraddha means conviction, disposition, conviction. How does this conviction come? Now you are all here, Saturday morning 11 o'clock, at the Hindu temple to study Bhagavad Gita. 40, 50 people have come. Other people are doing something else of their choice. They may go to different temple or they may do something else, watch Olympics or whatever they are doing at this time. How do you decide that this is what you want to do at this time? In preference to something else which you could be doing? That is your inner disposition. Your inner disposition says this is the right thing to do at this time. Your inner, some voice in your inner voice, it says, Saturday before third Sunday morning 11 o'clock, I want to go to Hindu temple to study Bhagavad Gita. That voice you hear, you decide like that. How did you come to the conclusion you could be doing something else at this time? That is governed by your Shraddha, your disposition. How did that disposition come to you? He says, Swabhavaja. Swabhavaja means it comes from all the previous impressions. Shankara says, he is explaining Swabhavaja, Dehinam Sharirinam Sa Swabhavaja, Janmantarakrita Dharmadi Samskaraha, Maranakale Abhivyaktaha, Swabhavaha Uchyate. It says, impressions are the resultants of acts, righteous, etc., done in previous lives. It becomes manifest at the time of death. Faith is what is born of these resultants. To try to understand what is Swabhava, what is my nature, what is my nature, what kind of person am I? I am a sattvic person, rajasic person, and tamasic person mainly. How does it happen? He says, Janmantarakrita dharmadi samskara, or in my other previous births, not one birth, many births. Earlier in the 4th chapter, Sri Krishna said, all of us have gone through many birth cycles before. We don't remember how many times we were born, where we were born, what we were doing. That's what he said before. Now, in all those births, we have done some good things, some bad things. And the resultant of all those actions, which leave impressions in our mind, the sum total of all those impressions is my personality, my character. What I am at this moment in my life, good person, bad person, confused person, whatever I am, is the result of all the impressions I have myself gathered over a long period of time in my previous births. Every time, everything I do something, by thought, word, or speech, leaves an impression in the mind. Like creating a new record in my mind. The mind is nothing but the sum total of all those records, all those impressions. Some of them are sattvic. Sometimes I read sattvic deeds, creating a sattvic impression. Sometimes I read rajasic deeds, became angry, had a lot of desires, they leave rajasic impressions. Sometimes I really did something really foolish, doing tamasic deed, tamasic impression. All those things, they will not go away. They keep on accumulating, and the sum total of all those impressions is what is my present personality, my Shraddha. What I am likely to be doing at a particular moment depends upon the sum total of all the impressions. They decide what kind of person I am. That means, in other words, what I am at this moment is the result of my own doing. This personality that you are seeing in front of you, good or bad or whatever it is, ignorant or knowledgeable, this is my own creation, created by myself, impression by impression by my past actions. That's what I am today. Depending upon what kind of impression, what kind of action I did before, and the result of all the three gunas are there in me. Because I did some good things, sattvic impressions I put in. I did some other rajasic type of thing, I put rajasic impressions. Sometimes I did tamasic kind of thing, I put tamasic impressions. Some of all those things what I am today. In other words, I have myself sculpted this present personality impression by impression. This has a very good side to it, very good part to it. The very good part is, by doing the right things now, thinking only sattvic thoughts, doing sattvic deeds, I can become a better person. What I will become tomorrow or next month or next life depends upon what I do now. This has been emphasized in the scriptures. There is a book called Ashtavakra Samhita. Ashtavakra Samhita is a conversation between Ashtavakra, a great jnani. From birth he was a Brahmajnani. He was born as a Brahmajnani. And he had a long conversation with Janaka, who was also another Rajarshi Brahmajnani. Two Brahmajnanis talking about Atman and other things between themselves. That's a different kind of dialogue that happens. When you and I meet here, we talk about ordinary things. What did you do yesterday, like this? But when two Brahmajnanis meet, what do they talk about? That book is very interesting. 20 chapters are there, small book, about 298 verses. So there, Ashtavakra says in the first chapter, verse number 11. Ashtavakra Samhita, chapter 1, verse number 11. 1. Easy to remember. There he says, a person is what he thinks. The person becomes what he thinks. Thinking means include actions. What I say, what I do, what I think, what I imagine, all those live impressions. That's what I am going to be. So tomorrow, if I want to be a good person, tomorrow or next month or next year or next life, then I must change this, what I am thinking, this moment only is under my control. Only one moment is under my control at any given time. First moment I can't change what I thought, I can't change. Supposing I thought some bad thought last 5 minutes before, I can't change it now, already thought. What I am going to think next moment, 2 minutes from now, I don't know. It's not come yet. But I am only in control of my present moment. This moment is in my control. This moment what I want to think, I can decide. One moment at a time. Future I cannot foresee. I may not have any more future moments at all. Past what I have done, good or bad, that I cannot change. This moment is my opportunity to become a better person. So seize this moment. Seize this moment. Put the best thought you can in your mind. That way you become the best person in the future. So Ashtavakra says to Janaka, Baddha Pimani Baddho Hi Mukta Mukta Pimanyapi Kim Vadantiha Satyeyam Yamati Sagatir Bhavet. Just remember last part of it. Yamati Sagati. Gati means destination. What I will become in the future, where I will reach future. Mati means mind, what I am putting in my mind. Yamati, as I think, Sagati, so I become. This is age-old ancient wisdom which is being reinforced by modern studies now. Lot of studies are being done, neuroplasticity. How your personality, everything will change depending upon what you think now. But this is not new information, it's been established. So whether I am sattvic, rajasic or tamasic depends upon what I have done before. Whatever thought, whatever said, whatever. That's what Sri Krishna said. While the person is sattvic, he has done mostly sattvic, some rajas tamas is there, etc. So that is swabhava. My swabhava created by my own self, and my swabhava I am creating every moment now. The good news is I am creating my life now for for tomorrow, next life, next birth. I'm building the building now, brick by brick, impression by impression. So we are in charge of your future. Present I cannot change because present is the result of past. What I did before, I can't go back in time and change all the bad things I did. So that is the second verse, very important verse. Trividha bhavati shraddha dehinam sa svabhavaja satviki rajasi chaiva tamasi chetitam shrunu. Then the third verse is important. Afterwards it is all details, explanation. Third verse is Sattvanurupa sarvasya Shraddha bhavati bharata Shraddha mayoyam purushaha Yo yat shraddhasya eva saha. Important thing to remember in this third sloka is Saddha mayayam purushaha. I am Purusha, this individual being, any one of us. What are we essentially? So as my inner conviction is, that's what my life is. I do everything in my life depending upon my deeper inner conviction. I have some sense of this right, this is wrong. I have some sense, this is what I want to do, this I don't want to do. I have that sense, which I have cultivated myself by previous actions. And according to that, I lead my life. And that we can change. Good news is we can change. Then in this chapter, a lot of marginally interesting things are there. We can skip them. Regarding austerities, 5 and 6 we will study together. We all do austerities, fasting on Ekadashi day, or fasting on every Monday or Thursday, like this something we do, or repeating japa so many number of times every day, or going to temple every Saturday. Some things we do. So these things that we do, austerities, they also can be sattvic, rajasic, or tamasic. So we'll do 5 and 6 together. Ashastra vihitam ghoram tapyam teje tapojana dambha hankara samyukta kamaraga balanvita karshayantah sharirastham bhutagramamachetasah manchayvantah sharirastham tanvidhyasura nishchayan. Tapas means austerities. People do different kinds of austerities. Some people get up in the morning, after taking bath, they go to a temple or Gurudwara and do the seva, Kara cleaning everything. Some people go to if there is a people tree, Ashwatha Vriksha, they go chanting some mantra or hymn, they go around the tree 108 times. Some people do Sandhya, first thing after taking bath. Like this, they all do different things. Those people who do ashastra vihitam tapaha ye janaha tapyante. Ashastra vihitam means not approved by the scriptures. not in conformity to the scriptures. They themselves decide, I want to do this one. Asasavitam ghoram. Tapyante ye janaha tapyante janaha tapaha. And that too they do with damba hankara samyuktaha. Damba means lot of show, ostentation. Ahankara means egotism. I am doing it, I must get the benefit. Kamaraga badanvitaha, forced by the force of kama and raga, lust and attachment. Out of desire they do something. They do some austerity, but they do it to get something that they want to get, with a desire, specifically desiring in their mind. That is not the best kind of tapas. Karshayanta sharirastham, torturing the body. Sharirastham, mam. The Lord is present in every body that we know from basic Vedanta. He is present in all. Mam sharirastham karshayantaha, torturing oneself, persecuting me, dwelling within the body. Tan asura nishchayan vidhi. Know them to be asuri people. And that kind of intense austerity made with a desire. I want to get something. Like that. That's not good. Then he goes to the next topic, 3 kinds of food. When you see 3 kinds of food, don't expect him to get what you are thinking. It's not going to be there. Sloka number 7, 8, and 9, and 10. 7, 8, 9, 10. These 4 slokas deal with tamasic, sattvic food, rajasic food, tamasic food. General instruction, not very specific, but general. So we'll do those 4 slokas. Sloka number 7. Aharastvapi sarvasya trivido bhavati priyaha yajnastapastatha danam tesham bhedamimam shrunu. There are 3 things. Ahara, yajnaha, tapaha, danam. 4 things. 4 things he takes in one step. Ahara, yajna, dana, tapaha. These 4 things, each one of them can be rajasic, tamasic or sattvic. Ahara, food. Then tapaha, yajna, sacrifice. Tapaha, austerity. Danam, charity. We can do these 3 people, we do all these 4 things. But these 4 things can be sattvic, rajasic or tamasic, or usually combination. That is being described. Now we go to sloka number 8. That is sattvic food. What is sattvic food? There can be a lot of discussion on this, but without any definitive conclusion. But we just see what Sri Krishna says in the Gita. Sloka number 8. Sattvic food is being described. Ayusatta balarogya sukha priti vivardhana rasya snigdha sthira hridya ahara sattvika priya. Certain types of food appeal to sattvic people. Sattvic priya ahara. What are those sattvic kinds of food? Ayu sattva bala arogya sukha priti vivardhana. foods that promote ayu, longevity, strength of mind, sattva, bala, physical strength, arogya, health, sukha, well-being, comfortable feeling, preeti, means which are very pleasing to eat. Vivardhana, those foods which enhance these 4, 5 things, plus which are rasyaha. Rasyaha means moist, not very dry. Snigdha means snigdha means oily. Rasyaha, sopetaha, snigdha, snehavantaha. Snehavanta means oily. It says oily here. So now Dr. Eisenstein says no oil. So a lot of debate. This text does not answer those questions. It simply gives a general statement. Snigdaha, sthiraha means firm. Hridyaha means appetizing, pleasing. If it's not pleasing, then you got relish that one. Hridyahara satyakriya. Very general statement. What is pleasing to me may not be pleasing to somebody else. So what is pleasing to somebody, garlic or fish, may not be pleasing to other people. So general instruction. Then number 9 is rajasic food. Gatvam lalavanat yushna tikshna ruksha vidahitah vidahinaha ahara rajasasyeshta dukkha shokamaya pradaha dukkha shokamaya pradaha. I'll just read the translation because these things are kind of opinion kind of things. There's nothing absolute about these things. Because relative. Some person likes garlic very much. It's good for health also. Some people cannot stand garlic if it is being cooked in the next house. So there's nothing that can be generalized that is pleasing to everybody. These foods which please the rajasic temperaments, sloka number 9, are excessively bitter, katu, sour, amla, saltish, lavana, hot, atyushna, pungent, tikshna, harsh, ruksha, vidahitaha, burning, is relative. What somebody enjoys, other people may not like it like that. In regard to food, there cannot be any one set of rules which is pleasing to everybody. So just accept the relative nature of things like food, etc. Then we go to tamasa priya aharaha. It's a sloka number 10. Yatayamam gatadasam Uti paryushitam chayat Uchishtamapi cha medhyam Bhojanam tamasa priyam. The food dear to the tamasic temperament, tamasa priyam bhojanam, is ill cooked, yatayamam, tasteless, gatarasam, smelling, decayed, puti paryushitam, and impure, uchishtam, leftover food, ashuchihi, uchishtamapi, amedhyam, delayed, decayed food, bhojanam tamasa priya. Generally, we like food to be fresh, cooked recently, hot and fresh, kept for a long time in fridge, and it is long past the expiry date. Those things are not good. Tamasic kind of food. Nothing much to debate there, we agree. Now, three kinds of yajna, three kinds of food we have seen. These three kinds of food, that instruction is are very general and not really, they leave a lot of scope for discussion. So we don't want to, we cannot decide it by discussion. Let's leave it like that. Then the three kinds of yajna, Satvika yajna, Rajasika yajna and Tamasika yajna, those are described in 11, 12 and 13. In sets of 3 slokas, he described the Satvik, Rajasic, Tamasic nature of many different things. Yajna, Dana, Tapa, Ahara, those 4 things. So, sloka number 11, Satvika yajna. Apala Kamshibir yajna Vidid Drishtoya Ijyate Yashtavyameveti Manaha Samadhaya Satvikaha. This Satvik yajna, sacrifice, is offered without desire for its fruit. Apala Kamshibhi. Phala Kamsha, Phala means result of our action. Akamsha means desire for the result. Aphala Kamshibhi means those people who don't have desire for action. They do it and then say, I have done my part, and there my concern with it stops. What will happen after that? Whatever happens, we have to accept. That topic has come, will come in the 18th chapter also. Second chapter, Sri Krishna said, which has come many times, second chapter, sloka 47, Krishna said, your authority, your control is only in the domain of your work, what you do, what you put into the work. In regard to the result of the work, you have no control. Though you are the person who does the work, you decide the methodology, you choose the materials, you choose the co-work, whatever, you are completely, not completely, more or less completely in charge of what you can do. Sometimes constraints are there also. Company policy may restrict you. Company policy may not allow you to do things. You want to do that thing, but your hands are tied. So limitations are there. But within those limitations, you can decide what you want to do. How do you want to do it? That's all. But when you do some action, what result will come? Entirely unpredictable, uncontrollable. This is true in regard to any human endeavor. In professional work, treating a patient, teaching a student, family life, bringing up children, one's own health, whatever field, no exception. We can only do certain things, what we can do. What happens as a result, we have no way to completely, accurately predict or to control. Whatever comes, comes. So what is the result? What is the moral? We have to do our best and leave the rest. So my mantra is, do the best and leave the rest. The rest is not up to us. He has told us in the second chapter, Karmani evate adhikaraha, phaleshu mate adhikaraha. But question comes, if I am the doer of the work, I should decide what should be the outcome. How come I cannot decide? Sri Krishna says, next chapter it will come, 18th chapter will come. In any work situation, whatever you put into the work as a part of your input is only a part of the equation. Besides what we put into the work, many other factors, besides what I put into the work, which are not under my control, they come and play a part and decide the outcome. Other factors come and decide the outcome. You can't change those other factors. Sometimes you can, sometimes you cannot. For example, weather. Supposing today it was raining in the morning when we got up. A fortunate rain stopped, we could come. Supposing there is a heavy torrent of rain, thunderstorm, lightning, all those things, then you cannot come. You have to. Safety is first. So you can't control. Always nice weather to prevail. Heavy snowstorm will come, whatever. So we have a important meeting at 8:30 in your office, and you are going to give a presentation about your project to your colleagues and clients have also come. The client people are sitting there, and you have got all the material ready, your PowerPoint presentation, the report copies, everything you have ready. You worked hard on it for many days. Colleagues are there. 8:30 is the meeting. Now what happens? You start from your commute time is only half an hour. Every day you go half an hour. But that day, because you want to be sure, don't want to be late, so you start 1 hour before. 8 o'clock if you start, you can easily reach 8:30, but you start at 7:30, giving enough margin. Okay, then you want to be on time. But what happens on the way is some accident happens. Some truck containing hazardous material capsizes, all the 3 lanes are closed. What do? You're looking at the clock, 7:30, 7:45, 10 minutes to 8, 5 minutes to 8, and people are waiting there for you for the presentation, and you have to give the presentation. All the material is with you. Hundreds of cars front of you, hundreds of cars behind you, are not anywhere near the exit. It may take 3-4 hours to clear that one. So what can you do? Such situation arises in life. Same thing about bringing up children. One family, 3 children, same parents, same upbringing, same home environment, same love, but 3 of them grow in 3 different ways. One child exceeds your expectations, another child does not even come up to your expectation. What can you do? You have done your best. What prevented all the children from becoming successful? Because other factors besides your control came and played a part in the equation. What the child does when he or she grows up, it depends upon not only what you provide in the form of home environment, but what previous samskara that child brought from previous birth. How much control do you have on your previous samskaras, other people's samskaras? The child himself has no control. In previous births, whatever kind of things he did, that is what is happening in his present life. And he cannot control, you cannot control. So just do your best, accept the outcome calmly. Sri Krishna says that. He says repeatedly. Chapter 2, verse 48, next sloka. There he says, do your best in the best possible way. Your part you are in control. Mostly, not all. That part you do well, best. That part is, you can do something there. How you do it, what methodology you choose, what materials you choose, which school you send your child to, what you do, what you feed the child, all those things are in your control. You do it. Then what happens, outcome is not up to us. Other factors beyond our control play their part, and the result is entirely something that you did not expect. It may be better than what you expected, it may be less than what you expected. Every field of life, the same thing is true. Teaching children, treating patients, same thing. Supposing you are ER, emergency room physician, and somebody comes in a semi-conscious state, and you have to decide the treatment. He does not remember what medications he is taking. He may not even know. He may not be able to say. And what do? Based upon available information, you decide the best possible course. Treatment. What happens after that? We don't know. He may recover sooner than you expected and walk away. Or he may recover as just as you had thought he would. And then something else may happen. What can you do? You have done your best. The result is not under our control, because the result of our action is governed by certain other factors which enter into the equation besides what I put into it, and then the result comes. So what are we supposed to do? Sri Krishna says, Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya. 248. Sangam tyaktva dhananjaya. Our part is, you do your work as a karma yogi. Best possible way. Best attitude. You use your best judgment. Choose everything in the right way. That is your responsibility. Sangam tyakva, giving up attachment. You should not say, I am doing this result must come. You have no power to decide that one. Then what happens? Siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva. Siddhi means success. Your work may succeed better than you expected. Asiddhi means failure. Your work may fail, though you did the best. Project failed because of other factors which not under your control. Samatvam yoga uchyate. That equanimity of mind to remain calm under all circumstances in success or failure is called essence of yoga, calmness, equanimity. The total unpredictability, uncontrollability of the outcome of our work, we have to accept it and do our best. That is sattvic attitude towards yajna. So we are doing this one in sattvic yajna. Aphala akamshibihi, verse number 11. First, that's why from where we took off all these things. Aphala akamshibihi. Akamsha means desire, expectation. Phala means fruit. Aphala akamshi means one who does not expect certain things to happen. If it doesn't happen, become disappointed, unhappy. If it happens, very happy. That should not be there. Acceptance of the outcome, doing our best, is the essence of sattvic yajna. Then we finish two more verses. These rest are easy. 12. Abhisamdhayato phalam, abhisamdhayato phalam, dambhartamapi chaivayat, dambhartamapi chaivayat, yijyate bharata shrestha, tam yajñam viddhi rajasam. 13. Vidihinam asrishtanam, mantrahinam adakshinam, Shraddha virahitam yajñam, tamasam parichakshate. Rajasic yajna is in number 12. O Arjuna, that yajna can be rajasic if it is hypocritically offered with desire for fruit. Dambhartamapi, to show off how much big puja I am getting done. Like that. Strong other people, impress other people. Such a big puja I am doing it, sponsoring like this one. Kalam abhisandaya, expecting results, appreciation. Tat yajñam, tam yajñam rajasam nidhi, rajasic yajñam. 13th sloka. That yajna which is done without following the proper procedure, vidihinam asrishtanam, without providing food in any activity, especially religious, spiritual activity, food must be provided to those who attend. Otherwise, without lunch, what is lunch? You don't cut lunch. Not interesting. Asrishtanam, mantrahinam, without proper chanting of the mantras in a proper way. Adakshinam, without giving some gift. Dakshina means gift, has to be given. Shraddha virahitam yajñam, without shraddha, faith, earnestness. What yajna we do? Tamasam parichakshate.